ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my SummerSlam 2019 predictions. So before we get into predictions, I just got to put a disclaimer here that this is being recorded just after SmackDown on the Wednesday morning. So there's been no official match made between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. I would imagine it would be either that match or it would be Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe versus Rowan and Daniel Bryan, the Samoan Joes. You can take that WWE and make a fortune out of that. The Samoan Joes versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan, or Roman versus Daniel Bryan. Not being made official. If it happens, I think Roman will probably win, and then we'll find out that someone else attacked him. Maybe my theory that Rowan attacked Roman Reigns, not for Daniel Bryan, but actually for Bray Wyatt / The Fiend, and then they're going to reform the Wyatt family. That's my theory, which would be a cool theory if it actually paid off, but maybe not. That was one theory anyway. But yeah, so that match hasn't been made. There's been no tag title matches made. They've got 3 tag championships and none of them are being defended. The OC, the New Day, Alexa Bliss, and Nikki Cross, none of them are going to be on the show as far as I can tell. So that has not been booked. Probably be a pre-show match anyway if they do make one. So let's get into the main card. We have 10 matches to predict, so let's jump into it. First up is the Lock of the Night! Bill Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler. I think it's got to be a Goldberg win. He's come back to redeem himself after losing to The Undertaker and having a terrible match in Saudi Arabia. So he basically wants to put himself over, essentially. And I don't see Goldberg coming back just to job out to Dolph Ziggler, honestly. And this is why it's my Lock of the Night. Probably a better question would be, how long is Dolph Ziggler going to last? I think when Goldberg squashed Brock Lesnar, that was about minute 45, nearly 2 minutes. So I don't even going to give Dolph Ziggler that much of time. I would imagine it's going to pretty much be, maybe Dolph will try and get a super kick off, miss it, then get speared, then jackhammer, done. That's what I'm picturing happening. So, hey, maybe they might give it to Dolph. I don't see it happening, but they might. Then we have The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus The Demon, Finn Balor. Then we have Finn Balor, The Demon, versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Now, I feel like The Fiend has to win this one. They've been building him up since WrestleMania. This is his big debut in-ring return, or in-ring debut as a new superstar. Plus, there's rumors going around that Finn Balor wanted time off, so they can put the Demon over. The Fiend over here. I'm really messing up my lines, I'm sorry. So yeah, I think The Fiend's going to win. Just to basically to give him a big win and build him up to maybe a main event status where he maybe faces Seth Rollins or Kofi for a big title, or he faces Roman Reigns, because I think he is the reason Roman Reigns got attacked, because of all the backstage shenanigans. There's like all the puppets appearing backstage and stuff like that. I feel like maybe that's somehow tied in. Bit of a weird thought, but there you go. But yeah, I think Finn's gonna take some time off, so I think that The Fiend is gonna win. Okay, then that leads to Trish Stratus versus Charlotte. Now this is an interesting one. Trish Stratus is coming back to face Charlotte, so I feel like Charlotte should win because she is the new wrestler and you want to put over the new talent. However, WWE do like to bury new talent a lot of the time for all the legends. Also, this might be the first of a series, so we might have this match and then have a match at WrestleMania. Plus, this is in Canada, so Trish Stratus is coming back to Canada to lose to Charlotte. Seems a bit weird to me. I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to go with a Charlotte win because she is the new talent and they should put over new talent. However, I would not be surprised if they put over Trish Stratus, even though what does Trish Stratus gain from beating Charlotte? Nothing, really. Then we have the Cruiserweight title match. Oney Lorcan versus Drew Gulak. I'm just going to say Drew Gulak and just move on. Because I don't really know. I would say Drew Gulak's probably going to retain because it just seems more likely that way. Then we have Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. If Kevin Owens loses, his career is over in the WWE, and he goes to AEW. So hey, win-win. No, so I'm a huge Kevin Owens mark. I'm massively a huge fan of Kevin Owens. I'm quite liking his face run now with the stunner and all that stuff. I feel like he should win, and then this storyline should be over and done with, and then he can move on to bigger and better things. However, I could also see it being a screwy finish where he gets screwed out of the match, has to retire or quit, and then he basically shows up every week stuttering people in backstage area and stuff like that, even though he's been fired. Yeah, I can see that happening too. But I'm going to say Kevin Owens wins and moves on to better things, and Shane McMahon just goes away for a while would be nice. But I can see it going the other way as well. Okay, then we have the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match that's been buried, basically, because no one cares about this match anymore. But it's Bayley versus Ember Moon. I like Ember Moon. Her finish, the Eclipse, is amazing. I think she's a great wrestler. However, I think Bayley's going to retain. Because, as far as I can see, I don't see any reason why Bayley shouldn't retain. There's not really been much of a... I don't know. Maybe I don't see why you would take the belt off her, even though I like Ember Moon a lot. Then we have AJ Styles with the OC, too sweet, versus Ricochet. So, I could also see this one go multiple ways, but I'm going to say AJ Styles retains. They're going to build up the OC and just keep going with it, because that's the big... Especially if Brock's gone. If Brock takes the title and goes again, and then there's the big title on Raw is going to be the US title, I could see AJ Styles with the OC like running roughshod over Raw and just being dominant over Raw as the champions. I can see that happening. So I can see AJ retaining and then Ricochet moving on to something else. I feel like they have big things planned for Ricochet, so I think maybe the US title might be just a pit stop for him, and they might be shooting him up to face, maybe even to face Brock at some point, because Brock likes fighting smaller guys, and Ricochet is like a really good small wrestler who there's lots of the flips, which Brock likes to fight apparently, so I could see that happening. Then we have the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Natalya, which would have been my lock of the night, if not for one reason. So, Becky Lynch, I think, has got to win it. She's the face of WWE 2K20. She's the champ. She's the biggest star in WWE. Natalya, not so much. However, that being said, it is in Canada. If they want a good feel-good moment, then they would get Natalya to win. However, this might be Natalya's final match, and she might want to go out with a nice... I mean, you always go out losing, right? So, in theory... And then, but then if Trish Stratus wins here, they're going to have both of the women lose their hometown. They might do, because WWE likes to have people losing in their hometown. I'm going to stick with my gut. Becky Lynch retains. Becky Lynch wins, retains. Then we have Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship, this is probably the match I'm most looking forward to. This should be a really good match. Should be a lot of fun. They've built this up for 11 years, sort of. They've been building this up since Kofi debuted, when he faced Randy. Well, he didn't face Randy Orton in his debut, but it was like towards the beginning of his career. Yeah, I think this should be good. I think Kofi should retain this one, but it's Randy Orton. You don't count out Randy Orton. You don't count out Brock Lesnar. You don't count Randy Orton out. You don't count. There's some wrestlers who just win matches, and they shouldn't really. I feel like Kofi needs to win this one, and it's like, it kind of finishes his arc. Like, basically, for years and years and years, he never got championships, and then Randy Orton was the first real obstacle he had, and he kind of, I mean, that's the storyline they've been going with as well. So I feel like if Kofi Kingston beats Randy Orton, then he's kind of established as a top guy in the company. I mean, this really cements him at the top of the SmackDown roster. So I feel like he needs this win more than Randy Orton does. Does Randy Orton really need, I think, is this his 14th? Yeah, it'd be his 4th. Whether it's 14th or 15th World Championship. Because I think he's got 13 already. I might be wrong. So I'm sorry if that's incorrect. But yeah, I think Kofi needs this more than Randy Orton does. So I'm going to say Kofi retains, hopefully. And then we have our main event, which I didn't think I'd be interested in, but I am actually interested in. Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. As Brock Lesnar has beat the living piss out of Seth Rollins for the last 2-3 weeks. I'm gonna... No, I'm gonna say Brock Lesnar retains. We're gonna have a terrible run of having no champion on TV again until WrestleMania. Oh, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I was gonna say Seth's gonna win it because my head, logically, it makes sense that Seth wins, right? Because Seth's been buried the last 2 weeks. He's been murdered, and then also Seth beat him in WrestleMania, and him kind of be more established. If he beats Brock again, it kind of establishes him as the Beast Slayer, and it establishes him as the top guy on Raw. All makes sense, right? But the thing you got to bear in mind, even though this all makes sense, is that he's facing Brock Lesnar, right? Brock Lesnar, the guy who beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, even though he shouldn't have. The guy who beat Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia, even though he shouldn't have. Basically held the title for over a year and it was never on TV. This is Brock Lesnar we're talking about. The guy... Oh, Vince loves the guy. Vince loves Brock. Vince thinks that he brings in money, which he probably does, but I don't see how you can bet against Brock. I'm never ever going to bet against Brock ever again. Because I did a lock of the night where I said Roman Reigns was going to beat Brock, and then he lost. That's the only time I've ever been wrong on my lock of the night. So I've decided to never bet against Brock, and I never will. So I'm not betting against Brock. Brock retains. God, I hope I'm wrong. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know your predictions. Who do you think is going to win what matches at SummerSlam? Let me know in the comments below, and I will give you a shout out. Maybe in the review, maybe in a future reaction, or like a tweet or something. Just let me know. I will try and give you a shout out. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, too sweet. SummerSlam, baby.
Join Potato Club today and too sweet that subscribe button.